The silent habit that drains your energy after 20 is constant background stimulation. It rarely looks extreme. It blends into daily life so smoothly that it feels normal. You wake up and your hand moves toward your phone almost automatically. While brushing your teeth, a video plays. While eating, something streams in front of you. While walking, music or podcasts fill the silence. During study, multiple tabs remain open even if you use only one. Nothing in this list sounds severe. Each action seems small. The problem emerges from repetition and accumulation. Let us slow this down and look at what happens inside your nervous system. When you scroll through short videos, each clip is slightly different. Different faces, different tones of voice, different topics. Your brain responds strongly to novelty because novelty might signal opportunity or danger. Dopamine increases in response to new stimuli. Dopamine prepares your brain to pay attention and anticipate reward. When novelty appears every few seconds, dopamine fluctuates rapidly. Your brain then recalibrates its expectation. It begins to assume that stimulation will change quickly and frequently. This recalibration happens because the brain adapts to recent patterns. It adjusts its baseline to match the environment. Later, you sit with a task that changes slowly. A textbook page remains visually stable. A coding problem stays on the screen. An assignment requires sustained thought on a single topic. Compared to rapid scrolling, this feels slower. Slowness is interpreted by your brain as lower stimulation. When stimulation drops below the recently adjusted baseline, discomfort appears. That discomfort feels like restlessness. Restlessness feels like fatigue. You may interpret this as lack of motivation. In reality, your nervous system is reacting to a contrast. The contrast between rapid novelty and steady work creates friction. Friction consumes energy because your brain keeps searching for higher stimulation. Part of your attention stays on the task. Another part scans for something more interesting. This internal division splits cognitive resources. Imagine trying to listen carefully to one person while another person keeps tapping your shoulder every few seconds. Even if you ignore the tapping, your attention is partially occupied. That partial occupation drains mental strength. Constant stimulation trains your brain to expect shoulder taps all day long. There is another layer. Every time you switch from one app to another, your brain performs context switching. It disengages from one mental model and builds another. Building a mental model means identifying goals, relevant information, and rules. That construction requires neural activity. One switch costs little. 50 switches within an hour create cumulative load. Your prefrontal cortex, which handles planning and decision-making, becomes overused. Overuse produces mental fatigue, similar to muscle fatigue after repeated contractions. You may sit at a desk for hours and feel exhausted without physical exertion. The exhaustion comes from invisible cognitive shifting. After 20, responsibilities increase. You manage your own schedule. You make decisions about study, work, health, and relationships. Decision-making itself consumes energy because each choice requires evaluation of options. If your brain is already fatigued from constant micro-decisions about what to watch, what to click, what to reply, your decision capacity shrinks. This is why simple tasks begin to feel overwhelming. Choosing what to study first feels heavy. Planning the week feels confusing. The energy required to decide exceeds what your system currently has available. There's also an emotional consequence. Rapid stimulation trains you to expect quick emotional changes. A funny video produces a laugh within seconds. A dramatic clip produces surprise instantly. This pattern shortens your emotional patience. Real-life progress unfolds gradually. Learning a skill involves slow improvement. Building physical fitness involves repeated sessions. Deep conversations require time before meaning emerges. When your emotional system expects quick payoff, slow progress feels unrewarding. That unrewarding feeling reduces willingness to continue. Reduced willingness leads to inconsistency. Inconsistency produces mediocre results. Mediocre results reinforce the belief that you lack energy or discipline. The origin lies in stimulation patterns rather than character flaws. Sleep interacts with this habit as well. Many people scroll before bed. The brain receives rapid light changes and emotional shifts just before trying to rest. The nervous system remains alert longer because it has been trained to anticipate new input. Sleep quality declines slightly. Even a small reduction in deep sleep affects next-day focus. Reduced focus increases reliance on stimulation to feel awake. The cycle reinforces itself. Another subtle effect appears in your perception of time. When you consume fast content, minutes pass quickly. When you engage in slow work, minutes feel longer. The subjective stretching of time during focused effort creates impatience. Impatience encourages escape into quick stimulation. Escape interrupts the deep work that could create meaningful progress. Over months and years, this pattern shapes identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who struggles to focus. That belief influences behavior. When starting a task, you anticipate distraction. Anticipation increases anxiety. Anxiety increases the desire for relief. Quick stimulation offers immediate relief. Energy decreases because your nervous system never fully settles. When attention stays on one task for a sustained period, neural networks synchronize. Synchronization reduces internal noise. Reduced noise creates a sense of clarity. Clarity feels stable. Stability feels energizing. Constant background input prevents synchronization. Your brain remains in a semi-alert state, scanning for novelty. Semi-alert states consume energy because vigilance requires resources. The habit remains silent because each individual action appears harmless. 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, a short break that turns into 20. Cumulatively, these fragments scatter your mental landscape. You can begin adjusting this pattern today with deliberate structure. Start with your morning. Keep the first 30 minutes free from digital input. Leave your phone on a desk instead of your bed. Wake up, stand up, and move your body slightly before any screen exposure. This lowers the initial stimulation surge and sets a calmer baseline. Next, design focused intervals. Choose one important task and commit to 25 uninterrupted minutes. Place your phone outside the room or inside a drawer. Close unnecessary tabs. If your mind urges you to check something, write that urge on a small paper and continue working. Writing externalizes the impulse and reduces its intensity. After completing one interval, take a 5-minute break. During the break, stretch or walk instead of scrolling. Physical movement resets your nervous system more effectively than digital input. Gradually extend one session each day to 45 or 60 minutes. Longer sessions train your tolerance for sustained effort. At the beginning, discomfort may appear as restlessness in your body. Stay with it. Over days, the discomfort reduces because your brain adapts to the new pattern. Create boundaries for entertainment. Decide specific times for social media or streaming. When usage becomes time-bound, it stops occupying every small gap. Reduce notifications aggressively. Each notification acts as an external interruption. Fewer interruptions allow your brain to remain in deeper states of concentration. Establish a wind-down routine before sleep. Dim lights. Avoid rapid content for at least 30 minutes before bed. A calmer pre-sleep state improves rest quality, which restores cognitive energy. Track your daily screen time for 1 week. Data increases awareness. Awareness often leads to adjustment without force. These changes may feel subtle. The benefits appear gradually. After several weeks, you may notice that starting tasks feels less heavy. You may complete work without constant inner resistance. You may feel clearer in conversations because your attention rests fully on the other person. Energy returns when attention stabilizes. Adulthood offers freedom over your schedule, yet freedom requires conscious design. Your brain adapts continuously to the environment you create. Rapid stimulation produces one type of mind. Sustained focus produces another. The difference in energy does not come from motivation speeches or sudden transformations. It emerges from daily patterns that either fragment or consolidate your attention. Look at how often your mind receives input without pause. Observe how quickly you reach for stimulation when a gap appears. Those small moments shape your internal rhythm. If your rhythm remains constantly accelerated, fatigue becomes familiar. If your rhythm includes steady periods of focus and quiet, steadiness becomes familiar. Energy follows rhythm, and rhythm follows habit. So, if this explanation made you look at your own habits differently, then stay with that thought for a moment and observe your day more carefully. Watch how often your hand reaches for stimulation and what happens to your energy afterward. If you found this useful, explore the other videos on this channel where we break down attention, discipline, and emotional control in the same practical way. Share your experience in the comments, especially what part of your routine drains you the most, because real examples make these ideas more clear.